Is this better? I had to like open WhatsApp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any better? Any worse? I think we're live. So hello and welcome to the second episode of Project Adopt's live home chat series brought to you by Hope for Animals. Those are the animals we're talking about. Exactly. They really want to let you know that they're here. So now that you know, that's Ai Leng over there in the other side of the screen with me. And those beautiful animals you hear in the background are some of the people that are hoping enthusiastically to come into your home and get to know you just a little bit better. Now, this Eileen, do we want to go and check on our friends to make sure that they're doing okay? No, you're fine, honey. This is why we're here doing what we're doing, because all the shelters are going to be slightly filled with excitable people looking to find a home with you, and they're making their voices heard right now. So once again, if you've just joined us, this is the second episode of Project Adopt Live's home chat series, brought to you by our friends at Hope for Animals in partnership with friends from the arts and media sector. My name is Audrey. This is Eiling on the other side of your screen, and we will be hanging out with you today to talk to you a little bit more about the furry friends who want to find a place with you. If this is the first time you're joining us, Project Adopt Live is an online pet adoption initiative created in partnership with various animal welfare groups. Every Sunday at 12:30 p.m., PAL will introduce you to adorable animal friends of different species, all in need of forever homes. Now, we think of this as a second chance for these animals, but for some of them, this might be the first time they have ever had a chance to find a safe home with a family that loves and provides for them. With that in mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit of good news. And goodness knows we all could use a little bit of good news in these times. Animal shelters have seen a huge surge in interest in adoption and fostering since these social distancing measures began. In fact, SPCA has reported a tenfold increase in fostering requests in the last month, and Causes for Animals Singapore, whom we partnered with in our first episode, also received more adoption inquiries after our video went live. So thank you for joining us and Hope for Animals in allowing you to open your hearts to more animals during these challenging times. We hope this is a trend that continues. And let's get the ball rolling. And maybe I think we could toss out a ball for our friends, our canine friends who will be joining us today. And Eiling over here, as I've mentioned, is our human guest. She is the co-founder of Friends of Seven, known as F7. Eiling, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Could you tell us a little bit more about F7 and the work you do?
Hi, everyone. This is Ai Leng here. I'm one of the co-founders of F7. PY and I found F7 about 7 years ago. We started off with only 7 rescue dogs that time. So, and we think that 7 is actually a lucky number. So, henceforth, we name ourselves as Friends of Seven. Now, this is about the 7th year already. So, we hope we can continue to be lucky to rehome our dogs.
We came to you at the exactly perfect time then. So 7 years ago, F7, 7 foster dogs. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about the work that F7 does?
Okay, basically we rescue, and our objective is actually to rehome the dogs, to find each of every one of them a home. Over the years, we have about rehome about 80 over poachers, and now we are still working very hard to rehome the rest of them, which is still at our shelter.
I understand that in order to fund all your rescue work, you sell a lot of merchandise and run F7 Home Kennel in order to provide boarding services for people who might be leaving the country for a little bit. What's the current...
Sorry.
Here they are again.
Yeah. Sorry.
They know when we're talking about them. That's the thing. So how has the
Yeah.
current COVID crisis affected your business?
Okay. Naturally, we have been hit very hard because obviously for now no travels is allowed, and most of our customers are actually our adopters as well.
Right.
So since no one is traveling, we can't do any boarding business for now. Yeah.
And I suppose that this affects your ability to move forward and take care of more animals. And
Yeah,
we're
that's
really
right.
grateful that we've got passionate and kind and generous souls like you and PY who continue to be here for these dogs no matter what happens in terms of the financial situation, the health situation. Now, what everyone at home might want to know is how can members of the public support you and enable you to continue your rescue efforts?
Okay, basically we have a Facebook page, which is under F7 dash Friends of Seven. We also have a Instagram account, which is F7 Home Kennel. We will post any urgent needs on our page. They can actually help us to sponsor our food, health supplements as well. We are also selling merchandise such as t-shirts, calendars. So
Nice.
these funds will come in handy for us to help with our rescues.
And I suppose, especially since the main stream of income, which is the boarding, has dried up, if you at home are watching and you want to do your part, if you don't feel like you can open your home to a dog right now, you can pop over to their Facebook page, which we will link below, or pop over to their Instagram page. What was it again? F7 Home Kennels?
Yeah, that's right.
F7 Home Kennels, and just see what you can do. Like maybe pick up some merchandise, see what you can do to pledge something toward next year's funds. It's going to be amazing. Now, I think for all the animal lovers out there, this is the most important moment. I've
Yeah.
been told that there are 12 doggies with you at the shelter, but you brought a few of them to come meet us today.
Yes, that's right.
That's right.
We
So we're going to. I know it's really warm outside, and it's only April, but we're gonna get a little bit into the Christmas mood. Is that
Okay.
right? But
Yeah, that's right.
the first beautiful animal who Ai Leng is
Yeah,
going to bring out to meet with you today is
yeah.
named Christmas. Now she is a
Okay.
total. He is an
Is
absolute
it you?
wonderful animal. All he wants for Christmas is you. And of course, lots of cuddles, lots of walks, lots of attention. And Christmas is HDB approved. He is a very mature 8 years old, but don't be fooled. He loves being the center of his attention, and he is the star on top of the Christmas tree in your life. Tell us a little bit more about Christmas.
Okay, sure. We're going to bring Christmas out now.
Yay!
Sorry about that. PY, Christmas. So we're going to show you how Christmas look like in real life. Uh, he's quite a goofy boy,
We love Goofy.
always making us laugh. There you go.
Hello.
Hi, this is Christmas. I'm sure you guys know
Oh,
that each of them have their own sad story to share.
oh,
So when Christmas was found several years ago, back, he was actually found with a lot of broken wound all over the body,
oh
and
no.
he was almost lifeless. We thought that he's not going to make it because he was just like lying there giving up. Eventually, we managed to track him and bring him to the vet.
Right.
So we realized that he was suffering from the Medex which is in a very critical stage already.
I see.
However, we managed to help him back to good health. So now he's okay. Uh,
Excellent.
yeah, and he's actually quite quite a very good walker. Yeah. So he also enjoys affections, but
Right.
I think he feels a bit intimidated by kids.
Oh,
So
I
I think
see.
he might be more suitable for families with maybe just couples with no kids. Yeah,
But he's a good
and
walker. He's HDB approved.
he is.
He seems to be really really keen. He's really good at sitting and sitting. Does he know like good tricks like that?
I think he can do a couple of tricks like sit because many of our volunteers always train him to do that with
Right.
treats. He's very food motivated.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good to know.
yeah.
Would you recommend Christmas for someone who is trying out doggies for the first time?
Well, if they are trying out for the first time, I wouldn't say a definite no, but we encourage them to come down to the shelter to get to know more about his temperaments,
Very good.
to bond with him,
Of
because I,
course.
I think then they will know whether how comfortable they are with Christmas.
How does
Yeah.
Christmas do with younger people? Does he prefer younger people? Does he prefer older people?
Well, actually, we have volunteers from all ages.
Right.
He can do well with teenagers. He can do well with older people, middle-aged people.
Right.
Yeah, that really depends on how keen the person is to bond with Christmas.
How much time does he need, like in a day? Is he okay to hang out by himself? Say if his new mom and dad are going to be both working in the office, is he going to be okay by himself, or does he need lots of attention throughout the day?
Well, I think he's the type, as long as before you go to work, bring him for a walk, let him
Yep.
do his business.
Yeah.
After that, he should be good to be home alone.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Give
useful.
them some time to adapt. Yeah.
What about any fun quirks about his personality we should know about?
Uh, Goofy definitely is one word, as you can see his face.
He
He's
is.
very expressive. Yeah, okay.
And he
So
he
he's
definitely
doing a
wants
sit now. Yeah.
he definitely wants to come
That,
home
yeah.
with someone. You can see it on his little on his bandana on his neckerchief. Adopt me. And oh, is that why he was being so excited? You could see like he
Uh,
could see a treat
yeah.
off
Yeah, we
camera.
have to do a bit of tricks here to make them sit. Yeah.
That's
So,
fantastic. How about his interaction with other dogs? We have a question from Jay-Z on
okay.
Facebook asking how he's like with other dogs.
Okay, to be honest, he is a very good friend with one of our dogs, Felix.
Right.
So, besides that, he has a few good friend buddies outside. But that really depends. I think just like human beings, you get
Right.
along with some people and you don't get along with some people.
Yeah.
So for Christmas, I think it depends on the chemistry with the other dog. So we are always open to try it out, to let them meet up at the neutral ground and see how
Right.
the dog reacts. Yeah,
So you mentioned Felix, and we'll be seeing Felix a little bit later
yeah,
on.
that's
So
right. Which
if
is his school
anyone
buddy. Yeah,
exactly, so if you want to maybe make it a pair activity, you could maybe bring home two doggies, Christmas and
that
his
would
good
be.
friend Felix. But to answer your question, Jay-Z, I think if you would perhaps bring the dog down to maybe F7, maybe to a neutral place, and your existing dog can maybe have a little meet and greet with our friend Christmas over here and see how the two dogs interact. Would that be something you recommend, Ai Leng?
Yeah, that's right. That would be ideal.
So we can see how they go, because if he's going to be joining the family, maybe he needs to meet his big brother, his new big brother or sister, and just see how everyone interacts. Does that answer your question,
Yeah.
Jay-Z? I hope that's okay. And Chris, is there anything else that we can tell us about Christmas' beautiful story?
Um, for Christmas, I think he surprisingly, although despite his age, right, he's eight
Yeah.
years old, but
Yes.
he also enjoys playing.
Right.
He plays a lot with Felix every day.
Nice.
Despite they are living together, they are always like up for some mischief together. Yeah.
So he's
So
good pair bonding with other animals. He's going to bond with you. We've got another question from Joyce. He's asking, does he bark at strangers?
he does. To be honest, okay, sometimes at the shelter environment, right,
Uh-huh.
I would say 90% of the dogs will bark
Right.
because it's quite a natural instinct that you hear one bark and another will follow.
Right.
So it's harder for us to gauge here, but I think it depends on how you train your dog eventually.
Right.
So give them a lot of positive reinforcement when you are at home so that they will not bark unnecessarily. Try to do away with punishment when they
Right.
bark because I think that is going to bring in the opposite effect. Yeah.
So we only want the carrots here. The sticks he's had enough stick in his life, this poor baby. So only carrots for Christmas. Is there any other fun facts that you can share, a cute story about him before we bring out our next furry friend?
For Christmas,
For Christmas, yes.
he
Why
yeah, well,
Christmas? How did you guys come up with the name Christmas?
oh yeah, I actually forgot to mention because the time when he was rescued,
Uh-huh.
I think it was sometime in December. Yeah, so we thought that Christmas would be a meaningful name because we really hope that he could recover that time.
Right.
Yeah, so he's something like hopefully he's a miracle.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why
brilliant.
the name came about
That's
Christmas.
amazing.
Yeah,
Well, if you want to invite a Christmas miracle into your life, we have 8-year-old Christmas here. He is such a stunning animal, goofy as, gets along with other dogs, like his best friend Felix, who's coming up in just a little bit. And if
okay.
you want to get a little bit more information, we've got the links down below. There's a QR code over there that you can be scanning in a few ticks, and you can also pop over to their Facebook page. In after the live stream is over, just to get a little bit more information. And before that, before we bring on our next furry friend, he does have the play with me face, doesn't he? Before we bring on our next furry friend, we want to tell you about Paint Inks by Melts. Now, this is an independent artist, Melissa, who has been donating full proceeds from 10 customized WhatsApp stickers. Now, all you need to do is to scan the QR code to link to the form, and she will create, get this, she will create a sticker based on your pet's personal portrait and text of your choice for the low price of $25. Fastest fingers first. You want to do that? Scan it over there. The QR code's in the corner. And we're going to come back to the main event because next up we have Christmas's best friend, Felix. Hello,
Hi, hi.
Felix.
This is Felix, Christmas best buddy, as we have mentioned.
Hello.
Yeah. So, yeah. A little story about Felix.
Yes.
Felix was rescued as a puppy, uh, together with his three other siblings.
Right.
That time they were actually just living in an industrial area, which is in the warehouse is going to be handed over to another management. So that time the security guard was actually taking care of the batch of puppies.
Yeah.
So he actually sort of called for help that these puppies need to find a place. So eventually we took five of them,
Right.
four which is from Felix family,
Right.
and three of his siblings have already found their homes, and one buddy friend.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
except for Felix. It was quite unfortunate that time when Felix was a puppy. He was actually tested positive for parvovirus,
Oh
which could
dear.
be fatal.
Right.
So because it's a contagious disease, so he was actually being isolated for a while. And that
Oh.
time we couldn't really rehome him because of his condition. Yeah, so eventually, of course, he recovers, and until now, he's of course in the pink of health.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but I guess you guys might have heard about black dog syndrome. So
Okay,
for a black
why
dog,
don't you expand
yeah,
about that? Because I think a lot of people at home, they
yeah,
have no clue about black dog syndrome, black cat syndrome. In a
mhm,
nutshell, just
yeah.
tell us at home what it
So
is.
yeah, so in a nutshell, I think I also realized that we have more black dogs being left in the shelter as compared to
Right.
the brown ones. Yeah, so people tend to have the idea that they don't like black dogs that much.
Oh
Yeah,
no. Do you
yeah.
think it's a
So
superstition thing or do you think it's something else?
it might be both. Or maybe I feel that sometimes it could be they don't look so nice in a photo as compared to the brown ones. You can't see their features that
Oh
well.
no.
Yeah, and I mean, there are people who really mind about looks.
Right.
But if you meet them in real person, it actually is quite different.
Well, to
Yeah,
those people at home who are worried about looks, I would remind you that black goes with everything. It is very on
you're right.
trend. It will match everything in your home. And oh, look at how beautiful this 6-year-old. So Felix is 6
Yeah, he's 6 this year.
and he's
Yeah,
HDB approved,
he is.
which
Yeah,
is
he's very
fantastic.
handsome.
So we've got a question coming in
Okay.
asking, how do I get a dog? So Vincent's asking, how do I get a dog? So if Vincent was keen on taking Felix home, what would the procedure be for that?
Okay. Firstly, we would like to meet up with the adopter personally. That is because we would like to know more about the person's background
Right,
and whether the person is actually suitable and ready to adopt a dog. Yeah, so definitely we will do some screening.
right.
Then, of course, if we find the person suitable, he can actually come down to meet Felix in person and any other dogs I'm referring to.
Right,
Um, After which, let's say someone already pointed that he or she is really keen to adopt a certain dog,
right.
we will follow up with more meetups because the reason, sorry,
No, that's fine. And
yeah,
you mentioned all the other dogs were also included. So they want to remind
yeah,
you that Felix and Christmas are not the only dogs at the shelter. There are 12 of them
yes.
and they all want homes.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so we actually do encourage more bonding sessions between any potential adopters and the dog because it mentioned they have been like living here for a few years. and suddenly you take them away from the place that they call home,
Right.
and definitely they will feel nervous and try
Right.
to escape. Yeah, so to avoid all these missing dogs cases, we normally we are being very careful.
Right.
So we encourage the adopter to spend time with the dog first before moving on to the next step.
Right.
So after the bonding is done, let's say we did a few sessions, we will start a 2 weeks home trial. That is so the dog will really go to the place to stay for 2 weeks,
Nice.
and we let the adopter really consider whether they really want to adopt this dog during those 2 weeks.
So if Felix
And
were to go home with someone, like how
yeah,
would how would you assess whether he was comfortable in someone's home?
okay. Sometimes you also have to look at the dog's reaction
Right.
to the person. Yeah, you can see whether they have managed to build a chemistry
Yeah.
between a bond. I mean, between the two of them.
Right.
The dog's reaction, and also you can look at the adopter's commitment. Yeah. So if the adopter is willing to make a lot of adjustment in his or her life,
Yeah.
and is willing to listen to our advice on how to take care of the dogs, yeah. So we normally can work from there.
We do have another question that's coming in specifically to this period. Are you still allowed to meet the dogs during the circuit breaker? Do you
Okay,
have any information on that?
okay. Meeting the dogs for now. Actually, we are sort of like putting on hold
Right.
for any interested parties who wanted to adopt or even foster, because we are not comfortable just to do it online. So, however, if we do have any serious inquiries,
Yeah.
we are willing to hold on to their particulars. So maybe after the circuit breaker period, we can arrange for a meet up again.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I've got another question coming in. What is parvovirus, which is something that that Felix had? So what is parvovirus, and how do I make sure that that dogs don't get it?
Okay. Parvovirus, I think is a disease quite commonly spread in strays and puppies.
Right.
So it's actually contagious in a way that it can spread through their poo.
I
Yeah.
see.
So
Okay.
yeah. So the trick here is make sure that they build up their immunity. Yeah, I think that's one important point. That building up their immunity will help to prevent a lot of diseases,
Right.
including skin problem. Yeah, that's one of the common ones.
Coming back to Felix though, does he have any quirks or issues with his skin or his health that we need to know about?
Okay, for Felix, we have to. For currently, he's actually on a special diet, which is kangaroo raw diet.
That is
Yeah, because
cool.
unfortunately, Felix does have a very sensitive skin.
Right.
Yeah, so far he is doing well with kangaroo. So this is what we recommend people to give them. I mean to give him.
So
Yeah,
he's a
and
boy with a taste for down under.
yeah, and he's having raw diet.
So that's easy for you at
Yeah.
home. All you need to do is just thaw out his
Yes.
food, and Felix will do the rest. Does he
Yep.
enjoy, what's his personality like? Does he want to go to a home with a big family or just mom and dad? What is his personality like?
Okay. His personality, I would say, is very close to Christmas.
Right.
I think he is also not so comfortable with young kids,
Right.
but I think for teenagers, he's okay. And I think he will be suitable for adopters who are like a couple,
Right.
who lives alone. That's fine also. Yeah.
He's got the brightest eyes. Like he's looking right into the camera saying, "I want you to be my new mom or dad." Well, he
Got
was
the
looking into
puppy
the camera.
eyes.
Yeah, he does have the brightest eyes. What about his activity level?
Okay, he enjoys walks, and same as Christmas, he likes to play. Yeah, so
Right.
the two of them are keeping each other entertained every day. Yeah.
So, would you recommend, and this is
Mm,
going slightly off right now, would you
okay.
recommend that they go together to a new home?
Uh, of course, that would be a dream come true, but sometimes we understand that there are certain families who can only take in one dog. We feel that that is okay for them also. If the family is committed enough, to bond with Felix or bond with Christmas, it's okay to separate them eventually, because it's still better than the both of them, you know, like continue living at a shelter and, spending the rest of their lives in the shelter. We rather one of them go to a good home.
Or both of them. So if they're
Yeah.
both HDB approved.
Yes.
Felix, who is 6 years old, beautiful black dog that goes with everything, very fashionably forward, on trend, on the kangaroo diet, the raw
Mhm.
diet. That's a tongue twister. So it's very easy to maintain at home. Would you be able to link potential adopters up with where they could get a supply of this food?
Yes, definitely.
Easy peasy. We've had
Yeah.
a question coming in asking whether training should be had for them after the dog has been adopted. If Iway wants to bring Felix home, does she need to get training for him?
Yes, definitely we will encourage everyone to engage in some form of training for all the dogs.
Right.
Anyway, in order for them to get officially adopted under in HDB,
Yep.
they will be going under a door project. A door project will
Oh,
require them to go through basic obedience in order for
okay.
them to get the license. But even so, if they are not going to HDB, we also encourage the trainer to engage them in, in some training. It's actually to keep their mind active
Mm-hmm.
and also to make sure that the dog gets enough exercise every day. Yeah,
Oh.
it's also kind of a fun engagement for them.
And he's very engaged with his tail right now. We love it.
Uh, Actually, there's flies, so he's
Oh,
entertaining himself by catching flies here.
see, he's
Yeah.
also useful in the home. We've got another question coming in from Iway. She's asking, Yvonne rather. Yvonne is asking, is he good with cats?
Actually, we are not very sure. It's a 50-50 because when we walk him, when he see cats, he does have some reaction that he wanted to chase after the cats. But again, sometimes the dogs might react differently when they go to a home.
Right.
So for all this, it really has to be tested.
Yep. So I
Yeah.
suppose, Yvonne, if you're keen on bringing Felix into your home, maybe bring all the family members, including your cat, down just to see how Felix and his new cat sister or cat brother get along. And that might be a fun way that we can move things along. Is there any final things you should know about this beautiful boy?
Um, well, I think he's one thing about him. He's actually, although he's black, but he's actually very very affectionate.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the type who will come to you for kisses, especially when you have food.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So if you want a manja addition to your home, someone who will be there to welcome you home and oh, keep the flies in check. Look at him. He's keeping it
yeah.
going. So he's got multiple things that he can bring to your home. Thank you, Felix. I'll see you around.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Felix. Another
And so,
organization who's working very closely with us is Fluffy Friends Forever. Now they will be sponsoring 10 paracord braided leashes for adoption starter kits. Now all you need to do is use the code PALXFX3. We'll put that in the link below to enjoy $5 off a paracord braided leash, and they will be donating 20% of the proceeds to our animal welfare groups. Now we're coming up to the baby of the pack. 3-year-old Enzo is coming up next on your screen. Now, Enzo is not HDB approved, and he does take a little bit of time to warm up. But once he has, this little guy is a sweetie with a bunch of energy and love to give. He loves playing fetch, he loves giving kisses, and he's great with kids. Let's bring on Enzo.
okay, sorry, just give us
No, it's
20
fine.
seconds. Yeah, he's
It's
getting ready.
fine. Why don't you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about Enzo? What's Enzo's story?
Okay, we he's coming over. Okay,
Hello,
we
Enzo.
actually rescued Enzo when he was a puppy. Uh, yeah, this Enzo. So that time, we actually found him at one of the uh, work site.
Right.
So one of the foreigners was actually like keeping him as a pet,
Oh, lovely.
together with another of our rescue dogs, who we're not featuring him today. So these two puppies, they have intention of like keeping them.
Mm-hmm.
However, we all know that in a few years down the road, when the
Yeah.
worksite is gone, they will become
Oh,
strays again because we have seen quite a number of cases.
right.
So we spoke to the foreign workers and they actually agree to give them up. So eventually we brought them in to try to rehome them.
Right.
However, Enzo didn't have the luck to get adopted when he was a puppy because
Oh.
he was very shy. So when he went for a lot of the adoption drives, he
Mhm.
was always outshined by the cuter puppies.
Oh, I think you're
Yeah,
plenty cute, Enzo.
yeah, he's very cute, but it's just that he's not so
Outgoing.
unlike some, yeah, not so outgoing. So when people try to touch him, he might shy away.
Right.
So that actually, yeah, lessen his chance of being looked at by the adopters. Yeah.
Well, Enzo is 3 years old now. He's still just as cute as ever, this fella. And what about any words on his personality? What type of home would Enzo be suited for?
Okay. Despite him being very shy,
Right.
but so far we noticed that he is actually very good even with kids. He's
Nice.
Yeah, as long as you spend time with him, and once he gets to know you and he gets comfortable with you,
Mm-hmm.
he's actually the type who is actually very submissive. He's actually quite gentle.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, always there to ask for kisses and ask for
Oh,
treats. Yeah, so we think that even if he goes to a big family with
yeah.
kids, he should be able to do well.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah. Once you get to know him, he also enjoys. I think as you have mentioned, he likes to play fetch. Yeah, so sometimes at the shelter we will throw some toys for him, and he enjoys going around. Yeah, sometimes after shower he will play with the towels as well. Yeah.
Yeah, my dog does the same thing.
Okay.
But what's his favorite thing to do?
Um, Eat, sleep, and play.
So basically he's Singaporean.
Yeah, he is very Singaporean.
So he would do best in a large home with lots of people to expend all his energy. Do you think that he needs to be walked multiple times a day or just once or twice? What
Uh,
works?
Okay, we of course for all the dogs here, we will encourage them to walk at least twice a day.
All right.
Yeah, one in the morning and one in the night time, so that they can actually go out to do their business.
Right.
And in fact, most of our dogs here are already grass trained,
Right. Oh,
so they
good.
are pretty used to the routine. Yeah, so in the afternoon, if they have time, there's no harm in bringing them down for a quick pee, then they can go back.
Right.
Yeah.
What about having Enzo do one or two tricks for us just to showcase his personality?
Tricks. Okay, let me try, because for now he's a little bit distracted.
Oh, of
Okay.
course. There's a
Yeah.
camera in his face. There are all these people. He doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah, but you can
And so
tell
what's
it's
going on is we're
that's
trying to
it.
get you. Oh, here we go.
That's
You're
the
a
best you
good
can
dog.
do.
Oh, look at that tail
So,
go. Oh, he's such a
fine.
bundle of positive energy, this one. Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
Oh, he's so keen. He's so keen to go home with someone and just be like the goodest boy. Jeremy's got a question. He's asking, will he be good at looking after the house?
Uh, well, generally, if you are looking for a guard dog, I think all the dogs have a guard dog inside of them.
Right.
But unfortunately, what we are looking at is a home for them. So besides being a part-time home guard dog, we also hope that the dog can be part of the family. Yeah.
Okay.
So
We've got another question coming in from Pengzoid. Are there any senior dogs, or which dog is the oldest that is currently here that's going to be featured on the show? So Enzo's
okay,
our baby. Enzo's 3. Who would be the
yeah.
oldest?
The oldest one that we're featuring is actually Blackie.
Okay,
She
so
will
stay
be the last
tuned.
one.
We've got Blackie coming up, but right now we've got this cutie little Enzo who wants a home, and he will be fantastic in a big, energetic family, lots of kids, lots of energy, lots of space to roam around, I'm assuming. And he's got how would you rate his trainability? We can see his looks, like they rank very, very highly. Is he going to be really, really keen on high energy, high octane situations at home?
Okay, I think basically he's very, very food motivated.
Right.
So training him with food would be very easy. Yeah. So but the thing is he can get a little bit nervous at new things. So
Right.
with a lot of patience and with a lot of food, I think
Very
he is
good.
trainable. Yeah.
Two more questions. The first is coming in from Dulisha, who's asking, how might Enzo be with cats?
Same thing. We when we walk him, he does have some reaction towards the cats. He will just look at them from far,
Right,
observe them.
right.
Yeah, but so far I don't think he has any uh, ill intention towards the cats yet. So again, I can't say for sure
Right.
until we do a test on that. Yeah,
So,
whether he can
Delisha,
get
bring
along with the cat.
your cat down, and maybe your cat can meet her new baby brother and see how things go. We have a question coming in generally, not just for Enzo, but how come Enzo is not suitable for HDB?
Okay, what happened is actually previously many of our dogs are also not HDB approved, because that time the criteria was actually they have to meet a height limit of 50 cm if you
Right.
measure them from the shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's a weight limit of 18 kg also.
Right.
So eventually this year they actually loosened the rules, so they increased the
Fantastic.
height limit, yeah, to 55 cm.
All right.
Yeah, and there is no more weight limit, which is more practical because some of them are actually they are short enough, but they are fat. So yeah, so unfortunately, Enzo is a little bit too tall,
Right.
so he didn't meet the criteria. Yeah,
Oh dear. Okay.
and that is why he wasn't HDB approved.
So if you want a leggy beauty in your life, this 3-year-old is going to steal hearts all the way down the runway of your heart. And if you want to volunteer with F7, there's some opportunities for you. I think that they're coming up in the comments, and we're going to be putting a link down to F7 so you can figure out what you can do. But thank you so much for introducing Enzo to us.
Thank you.
Bye,
I
Enzo.
PY
Moving on back, we've got Peachy Shares Her Treats. Now, this
Bravo.
organization is going to be donating 10% of their
Bye
sales if you
bye.
use this promo code PAL1.2PSHT. Now, we're going to be linking that below because that was a mouthful to read out. So put that in on checkout and you get 10% off your bill. It entitles the promo code user to 7% off on non-promotional products. And this promo code is valid until 30th April 2020. We're going to be dropping it in the comments so you don't lose it. And coming up, the first little lady of our afternoon meet and greet session. If you
Yeah.
are looking for a calm, mellow companion, come meet this next pretty girl. Her name is Pebble. She is HDB approved. She is 8 years old, and all she needs to be happy are belly rubs, a corner to chillax in, and your company. So basically, Pebble and I are the same person. She's also wonderful with kids because she's just so relaxed. Here's Pebble.
Hi, this is Pebble. Maybe I should share her history. Previously, Pebble was living in the kennel all her life,
Oh
since
dear.
she was a puppy. Yeah,
Right.
unfortunately, she actually was rescued by another rescuer.
Mm-hmm.
So that time, the rescuer actually took her mom and three of her siblings.
Right.
Yeah, so but however, the rescuer wasn't keen in doing any rehoming for them, so she basically just placed them in a shelter and just feed them, pay the money every month. So eventually, we took over all of them,
Right.
but the mummy unfortunately passed away 2 years ago due to kidney failure, and also three of Pebble's siblings have already found their home.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Yep, Pebble
so
wants in on that. Like she's like, "What about me? It's my turn next."
yeah, so yeah, and eventually, she at first she wasn't like very keen to go for walks. So about I think last year we managed to start to train her so she
Right.
could actually go for short walks.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
her.
yeah, and started to go for events. Yeah,
And how does
that's
she
it.
do at these events? How does she like meeting new people?
Okay, I think for people she's pretty good,
Right.
even with young kids, people of all ages. She's very
Mm-hmm.
comfortable. Yeah, but for dogs, maybe is really selective. Yeah.
Right. So you would recommend her go to a home where she will be the only doggy.
Well, unless we can test it out and see that if they can get along.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
reasonable.
Yeah, but I would say that it's not 100% she can get along with another dog.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But
So
she can be good alone. Yeah, because she is very gentle, and she actually takes naps most of the time during the day.
very
Yeah,
good. She's
yeah,
basically my spirit animal. Takes naps, likes rubs.
yeah.
What would you say is her primary energy expending level? Is
Um,
she a high energy, a mid energy, or a low energy doggy?
oh, she definitely is a low energy dog. Yeah.
So what would she need to what kind of energy levels would you expect to give her? So for example, does she need to be walked once a day, twice a day?
Yeah. Okay. Definitely, she needs to be walked twice a day at
Right.
least. Yeah, that is for her to do her business.
Right.
Yeah. And I think all dogs need to be exercised. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
she's definitely good with a, a slow walk. You don't have to bring her for a run. She's definitely not a running dog.
Right.
Yeah. 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 But twice a day or slightly more than twice a day is good enough for her.
We are getting a lot of love for Pebble's eyebrows right now.
Oh, thank you.
She's a beautiful girl. 8 years in the kennel, and she's looking for her forever home. What about cats? We keep getting asked this question about cats. Like, how do you
Mhm,
think Pebble would do with a cat? Since cats are generally quite self-sufficient, I'm hoping that, she would be quite self-sufficient as well.
mhm.
What do you think?
Um, okay, because I think most of our dogs here, I think to answer for all the other dogs also,
Right,
yeah, we only can observe them how they were with cats during walks.
right.
So yeah, but we are not too sure whether when they go to a household how they will react to the dog. So um, ideally, I mean we have rehome dogs to cat owners before.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did is actually we brought the dog to their house
Right.
because I think it's harder to bring the cat over here.
Yeah.
So when we bring the dog over to their place, we will leash the dog and see how the dog reacts. Yeah. So
Someone's
all
got
this, yeah.
someone's got an interesting question. They're asking if they already have a dog at home, can they foster Pebble?
Yeah. Uh, yes, if they already have I mean, are they living in a HDB household?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think fostering is still allowed. However, we are not looking at short-term fosterers. We are actually looking
Okay.
for, yeah, the long-term ones. That means uh, it might take them years to find a home, so they have to keep them until they find a home. Because we don't
Okay.
see any point in moving them up and down, changing their environment, because it's actually quite stressful for them to have a
Oh, I
new,
see.
to have a change of environment all the time.
So what would you recommend if anyone is interested, maybe not for this,
Mm.
not for Pebble, but maybe for a different animal?
You mean fostering for another animal?
Yes. What would be an
Mm.
ideal situation if someone is trying to figure out
Mm.
in a fostering situation what they could do for the dog?
Okay. Well, they can explore trying to help to foster a puppy instead,
Right.
because the chances of a puppy finding a home, it could be few months. But however, they also have to take note that taking care of a puppy is very different
Of
because they
course.
can be much more handful than taking care of an adult.
Okay.
So if they are sure that they can really fulfill the commitment,
Mm-hmm.
that there's no harm, they can explore trying to help to foster a puppy instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So is there any other information that we should know about Pebble, who's had 8 years in the kennel?
Yeah. I think Pebble is a joy to have. So we actually encourage anyone with kids to have a look at Pebble. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. So we will find out a little bit more about Pebble on your Instagram page and on your Facebook page.
Yes, that's right.
So if you want to bring this chilled out beast home, she's gonna be really, really willing and ready to come home after spending 8 years in a kennel with all his siblings. She's going to be such a fantastic addition to your mellow home. And we're going to come back with a quick word from another one of our sponsors. This is Shop the Paws, and successful adopters in this adoption drive will receive free treats starter pack from Shop the Paws and specially curated 20% off toys promo code after confirmation with Project Adopt Live. Shop the Paws are also having a 5% discount off store wide. Simply quote, I will give you the promo code again. You want to quote PAL5 when you check out on their website, and they will be donating 5% of all sales when you quote PAL5, and all proceeds will come right here to Project Adopt Live. And now we're coming to the big mama of the pack, 12-year-old Blackie, who is HDB approved. Do we have
Okay.
Blackie out?
Yes, Blackie is on the way.
Excellent, excellent. So she is going to be given a bit of a special treatment, I guess, Ai Leng. Since she's the oldest person here,
Yep.
would you maybe give us like a longer story? Just
Yeah.
once she comes out. Oh, I see her in the background. She's coming out now.
Yeah. She's actually a very small size girl.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's
So
HDB approved. That's a question that a lot of people have.
yeah,
And
she
going to
definitely is HDB approved.
here she is.
Yeah.
Okay, Ai Leng, over to
Okay.
you.
Okay. So yeah, Blackie was actually a very long history. She was actually rescued by an uncle feeder who actually took her into one of the boarding places. But I think few months later, she actually sort of disappeared. And but eventually, a kind lady actually came forward and tried to sponsor Blackie over the years. However, that time Blackie was actually placed in another commercial boarding kennel, in which the boarding kennel only provide food and shelter. They didn't really care about their welfare. So Blackie actually developed a very serious skin condition. Yeah. So uh, eventually the sponsor moved her to another boarding kennel in which that time PY was working at. So PY actually took very good care of her. So that's how eventually her skin got better. And of course, finally, she came to F7. So the kind lady is actually still sponsoring Blackie. So she will take care of vet bills, etc. Yeah. So we are trying. Okay. Okay. So for now, we are trying very hard to find Blackie either maybe a long-term fosterer, of course, or ideally a doctor who can actually love her forever. Yeah. Okay. Blackie. Blackie is a little bit distracted by the smell here. Okay. Despite her age, I think. Can you all see Blackie?
She said she's asleep. Hi.
Because she's a senior dog. Okay, so uh, as you can see, although Blackie is already 12, but she is actually full of energy. I mean, yeah. Okay. So basically, although Blackie is of 12 years, as I have mentioned, she still enjoys going out for walks, and we have even brought her out for outings. At the green corridor, she actually can go for very long walks, and she is still not tired. Yeah, but
That's
besides that,
wonderful.
yeah, besides enjoying outings and walks, right? When she's at the kennel, she's actually a very undemanding girl. So
Right,
after her food and play, she'll go to sleep and just
right.
sit down there with her doggy friends and just watch the day goes by. Very simple, happy-go-lucky girl.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. So her temperament is excellent because I would say that she can get along with anyone
Right.
of any ages. Yeah,
Oh,
of
that's amazing.
yeah, and
So what
obviously
would
she likes to eat.
I can tell, like
Yeah,
she's very, very food motivated.
yeah, she is.
So what would you say would be her primary characteristic?
I would say happy-go-lucky.
Right.
Yeah. And just a little bit background about Blackie. So just now I was mentioning that she because she came from the other commercial boarding
Yeah.
kennel which really didn't take good care of her skin. So
Yeah.
she does have some sensitive skin issues.
Right.
So we have to be very careful with her diet.
Right.
So currently she's on a beef diet.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's on cooked food.
I see.
Because she didn't do well with raw food that time we tried on her.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, she after she eat the raw food, she actually vomited, so she couldn't
Oh
digest it.
no.
Yeah, so currently she's actually on cooked food,
Right.
which actually helps her a lot. And
Okay.
besides that, we are also very careful about like allergies,
I see.
environmental allergies.
Okay.
So after every walk, have to make sure that you clean her up. Yeah,
That's useful to know. I
yeah.
suppose older dogs
Blackie,
will always have. Oh no, Blackie is done for the day. She's checked out. She's like, "All right, you've had your beauty moment with me. I'm officially done with this." But does
yeah.
she traditionally have any other quirks that we need to know about as potential adopters?
I think the important thing is the skin condition
I see.
that you have to take note of.
Right.
Other than that, I think, um, sorry. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention she's
Right.
also on long-term medication because she
Oh,
has
okay.
thyroid. It is under control,
Right.
but she has to be on the medication on a daily basis.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
so that's one more thing to take note of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Okay.
else that we should? I suppose with senior dogs, these are always problems and issues that we need to be aware of as we move things forward. And if you've got space in your heart to open your home to this beautiful, look at how charming this animal is. She's focused. This girl is completely focused. If you've got room in your heart for Blackie, I think she's more than earned her spot in to have a loving, kind home of people who want to be there for her. And thyroid problems aside, she's got a diet that works for her. She gets along well with other dogs.
That's right. She does.
And we've got a question here.
Okay.
What do your elf ears hear? She has elven ears. We quite enjoy that.
Yeah, actually, we a lot of us actually thought that she looks like Elf.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
perfect. So if you want a magical addition to your home, Blackie over here will be more than happy to fulfill that role. We've got a question asking whether Blackie needs a lot of attention at home.
Not really. I
Not
think
really?
she will, yeah. I mean, besides taking out for her daily walks when
Yes.
she's at home, um, I think she will come to you for pets. Other than that, she won't be like disturbing you all the time. Yeah, she will just mind her own business,
All right. All right.
just yeah, lying down there, observing you with her puppy eyes. Yeah,
Oh, we've
occasionally chasing flies too.
I see
Yeah,
that seems to be a running theme with the F7 dogs. They're excellent fly hunters. We like that.
yeah, we have plenty of flies here.
Very, very cool. So it's wonderful to see Blackie, and if you've got room in your heart and your home for a senior dog, I think Blackie is more than happy. Look at that face. I think she'll be more than happy to come home and fill up your family a little bit more. Thank you so much, Blackie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ah,
We're all here
special.
at Project Adopt Live. We're very, very happy to announce that Whiskies is supporting 3 complimentary basic grooming sessions to adopters. They are also having a Singapore specials rate where all Singapore specials groom with them at the price, get this, of a Chihuahua. That means for only $35, a Singapore special will get basic grooming regardless of size. Thank you so much for that. And this is just coming in. We've received word that we've got a special guest star who is popping by to say hello. Do we have a special guest star on your side, Ai
Yes,
Leng?
yes. He's actually one of our original, the first 7 rescue dogs.
Oh,
His name is
wow.
Hector. He's very special because he has a slight handicap.
Mm-hmm.
He's a distemper survivor because
Right.
during that time, the virus actually affects his neural system. That
Right.
yeah, that actually affects his mobility
I
of one
see.
of the legs. Yeah,
I see.
but he's doing great. He's able to do everything on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he goes for a swim every week. Yeah,
Nice.
so we just want to introduce Hector to everyone.
Right.
He has a potential adopter.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think during this difficult time, I think we all can share,
Mm-hmm.
learn some Hector's fighting spirit. Yeah,
Amazing.
so we hope to spread some love from Hector. Yeah,
Oh, thank you, Hector, for being such a great inspiration to all of us and for being one of the original seven of F7. I know that Hector has a potential adopter, but why don't you tell us a little
yes,
bit more? We can already see he's extremely food motivated.
yeah.
Look at that
Um,
tail go.
yeah, he basically because of his health condition, so
Right.
he's on several supplements,
I see.
and also he goes for hydrotherapy every Thursday.
I
Uh,
see.
yeah, that is to strengthen his remaining legs.
Right.
Yeah, and also ensure that the leg muscle that he couldn't use doesn't go wasted.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
so far he has been doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, he even goes for walks twice a day.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. That's
he
great.
although he hops around.
Oh, look
Uh,
at that.
yeah,
Oh, oh, well, now
yeah,
everyone wants a part of that.
yeah. And he's very good friend with Blackie.
Okay. Oh, well,
Yeah,
we see that all the OGs of the kennel
yeah,
have formed very strong bonds.
yeah. So that they will not get lonely here.
Oh, that's brilliant. So when is Hector's potential date to go to his forever home?
We are not too sure, but so far it could be year end because the
Okay.
person is doing some relocation of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why there's some delays. Yeah,
Brilliant. So we've got
yeah.
lots of people saying that he's such a handsome boy
He
and
is.
he is a fighter.
Mm.
So what are we doing to besides the hydrotherapy, are there any other things that you should look out for if you're looking to adopt a dog with special needs?
I think you also have to make sure that you don't over exercise them.
Right.
Yeah, but again, they also need their daily walks. Yeah, so to make sure that their muscle don't go wasted. Yeah, and maybe depending on the condition, some of them they might require special diets also. Just
Right.
like Hector, he requires some supplements.
Where
Yeah,
do you go? He's like, okay,
or he's actually
supplements. You're making
resting.
me
Yeah,
feel old, woman. He just like exits the screen.
you can't see him now, is it?
No, no.
Okay,
But I think if he's
yep,
comfortable down there, let's not move Hector. Hello, Hector. Oh,
okay,
there he is. Sorry, we just
yeah,
got really excited.
okay,
Oh, I'm so happy that Hector's going off to his forever home sooner rather than later. And he's
okay,
such an inspiration to all of us, especially, like humans are supposed to be able to sit and stay, and yet all of us under this circuit breaker moment are finding it very, very difficult to stay home, stay in place, don't run around. It's a challenge, but if Hector can do it, I suppose he's going to be our beacon for demonstrating what can be done. So thank you so much for this special guest appearance of Hector.
thank you,
It was really fantastic. Bye, Hector. And Ai Leng, thank you so much for taking the time. Oh, Hector
thank
is
you.
back with a vengeance. He's like, I want the treats. So thank you so much for sharing all these things with us, Ai Leng. It was really very wonderful. Ooh,
Thank you for having us here as well.
no,
Thank
not at
you.
all. It was very, oh, we're just gonna let your friends, your 13 friends at the shelter finish
Okay.
vocalizing. I think
Okay.
everyone here at F7 are trying to thank you. All 13 dogs are saying thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for understanding a little bit more about what it takes to adopt a dog and to find out how your life will be changed by inviting one of these furry friends into your lives. So thank you, Eileen, for taking the time to speak to us. We will come back to speak to you a little bit more when we follow you on Instagram and follow you at your Facebook link after the stream. We'll get everyone in touch with you to see how they can support you either at the gift store, buying your merchandise, or just finding out a bit more about the shelter. So thank you for doing what you do.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for your support as well. Thank you.
We've got one more word from one more sponsor. This is Woofy Goofy, and they are giving away a cute superhero plush for every successful adoption. And you can choose from famous characters like Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, Venom, Spider Man, and Daredevil. Absolutely adorable and perfect for your forever fur friend. So we want to remind you about all the beautiful animals that we saw today. We had Christmas, we had Felix, we had Enzo, Pebble, and we just saw the grand old dame Blackie before our special guest Hector. And if you're tuning in at home, we want to thank you for considering adoption because you would have saved two lives, your lifetime companion, and you're also freeing up a new spot in the shelter for a new dog. But remember not to adopt on impulse during this stay home period, or else returning the dog to the shelter when you return to work would be absolutely awful for everyone involved. It's going to be a challenge to get through this circuit breaker period. It's going to be a challenge for our fur friends at all the shelters. But we here at Project Adopt Live are keen to do our part to see what we can do to act sort of as a Tinder for these animals who are in these shelters. We thank you all for tuning in today. It has been an absolute blast. Ai Leng was very, very informative and very instructive. All the five doggies that we saw, they're really keen to go home to your home, to your homes and your hearts. My name is Audrey Lim. It has been fantastic speaking to you today, and I will see you next time here at PAL Home Edition, 12:30 next Sunday. Bye.